So look, I always think the best way to explain something is to see it. A picture tells 1,000 words. So we've been working with Staples with implementing Watson, and Staples have actually produced a video now that they use with their customers. So I thought that would be the best way to get started in terms of understanding what are some of the capabilities that are out there. This is live, this is now, this is real. And so we'll just play a Staples video, which will give you a bit of an explanation or one example of what's possible.
It's just a blue pen, right? Sounds simple, but it's surprisingly complex. What brand? What type? What quantity? Now magnify that across the chaos of all the stuff you order for all the people in your office. What if managing this was as easy as saying,
"Hi, please tell me what you need."
Blue pens.
Now it is. That's the magic of the Staples Easy System.
Hi.
Using simple spoken words,
Any more Post-it notes?
the Easy button lets you order everything your team needs to be productive, fed, and caffeinated.
French vanilla coffee and letter-size copy paper.
Got it. That was easy.
It's an extra set of hands, helping you save countless hours, manage costs, and maintain control of ordering supplies.
3 boxes of Sharpies.
The Staples Easy button brings the power of on-demand to businesses on any device, exactly when something is needed.
Dry erase markers.
Order with voice through the Easy button or through the app. Order with a text, with an email, with a Slack bot, with a photo, or even with Facebook Messenger. It's easy to track shipments
I need to check on my order.
and get in touch with customer service. The brain behind the Easy system is IBM Watson. Watson's cognitive intelligence turns what you say into data, and then turns that data into answers you need. The Staples Easy button learns over time. With every interaction, it becomes more personalized and more intuitive.
Please tell me what you need.
So when you tell the Easy button you want blue pens, it knows the exact blue pens you want.
Got it. That was easy.
That's the Staples Easy system.
Okay, so that's a real-life example. It's live at the moment. It's in the US where it's running and live. So when I talk about cognitive systems, there's a couple of key things that differentiate something to be a cognitive system. And it probably goes a little bit beyond just the artificial intelligence domain. And those things are, firstly, a cognitive system can understand, it can reason, it can learn, and it can interact. Okay, and if we step through those things, and I'll give you a tip actually here, because I know we all have to go back and tell our boss what we spent the morning doing. So if you need to remember, understand, reason, learn, and interact, URL, which for the techies in the room, you'll know what a URL is. For those who aren't the techies, a URL is a web address. Okay, so URL, understand, reason, learn, and then interact. So that's how you can remember when you go back to see your boss later today about what you learned. So if we think about, firstly, so understand someone's intent, what do they want? And we saw a number of different examples there of needing to understand what someone wants, be it because they spoke it to the system, be it because they typed it in to the system via an email or an SMS, or you even saw the image recognition where they took a photo of what they want. So it can understand what it's looking at. It can reason with the request. So right at the end there, you saw probably an important part, which is all those, it started and ended actually with the important part. There's lots of blue pens, right? There's probably thousands of different types of blue pens, but the person just said, I need blue pens, right? And they got the right blue pens that they actually wanted, right? So the system is reasoning based on the person they're talking to, the company they're from, their prior orders, and even other people's orders as well, around, well, what pen does this person really want? Very simple example, but it's reasoning on that. A more complex example that we've done is there's a big debate, some may have an opinion, about Wikipedia, and is Wikipedia a reliable source? We asked Watson that question. Is Wikipedia a reliable source? And you can go out and you'll be able to Google that on YouTube and you'll be able to watch that Watson come up with logic. And so it reasoned. So what it did was it ingested the entire contents of Wikipedia, and it went through all that content and it started formulating hypotheses around, is this factually correct? and it would go off and it would check what it was reading against other sources and make a conclusion about, is that a factually correct thing? And I'll ruin the movie for you. Watson concluded that actually Wikipedia was reliable, and the reason it was reliable is because whenever it got incorrect information, because anyone can go and update it, the community corrected that so quickly that actually, in essence, Wikipedia was reliable. So Watson was reasoning, okay? It was forming a hypothesis, and then it went out and it proved its hypothesis by checking all the facts against other data points to form that conclusion, okay? So that's the reasoning. The learning piece is based on experiences it's had before, bringing that into its future hypothesis, okay? So, for example, we've gone live at Ubank, it's been live for 3 weeks. And it's a simple chatbot, it's quite simple really, in reality. But it's been learning from all the interactions that it's been having. So any time someone talks to it and asks it a question, it learns in terms of, we give it feedback. Did it get it right or did it get it wrong? Was the customer happy or not happy with that response? And then it builds that back into its corpus and knowledge for its next cycle of reasoning that it goes through. So that's understand, reason, learn, and then interact. So again, we saw a lot of different ways that a cognitive system can interact through the spoken word, either because you're speaking to it or it's speaking back to you. So speech to text, text to speech. Through typed text, or even image recognition. So different ways to interact. There's an example that we're going to see with robots as well, another way to interact doing it. So think about cognitive systems in that term, understand and reason, learn, interact. In terms of what's out there, what's available, I've spoken about some of the examples, the Ubank one, which is, and you'll hear much more detail about that type of example. Other examples, so the Wikipedia one is real and live. We've done a similar one where you can look at the TEDx talks, ask any question, and it will come back with a TEDx talk queued at the right spot in that TEDx talk. We've got in Australia, if I think of examples, so Woodside, very large user using it internally. So Woodside is all about big capital projects, building offshore rigs and platforms. They're billion-dollar projects, and a real challenge is when someone's going to manage that, they're the project manager of that, it's the end of their career. To manage a $1 billion project, you've had that much experience, it's the last project you're going to do. And the problem with that is, once you finish the project, you leave and you retire and all your knowledge is gone. And so Woodside keeps losing that knowledge and they needed a way to retain it. And so they're using it as a huge corpus of knowledge, so when they do new capital projects, to learn what they've already done. So that's a broad sort of range of how it's been used today and some examples. If you want more examples, last night I took the liberty on my LinkedIn feed, I put up some examples where you can actually go and look at. So where our clients are using it with their customers directly, which means you can all go and see it. Obviously examples like Woodside, it's a bit harder to see because it's an internal use of Watson. So if you just have a look at my post, you'll see by different industries, so whatever industry you're in, you'll be able to see some examples of in the wild Watson and AI.